So, you're looking to really boost that IELTS writing score, right? Well, there's one powerful tool you absolutely need to master. Today, we are going to dive right into linking adverbs and show you exactly how they can help you make that huge leap towards a band 9. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, let's tackle what I like to call the cohesion challenge. It's a problem I'm pretty sure a lot of you have run into. Does this sound familiar? You feel like you're totally stuck at a band 6, maybe a band 7. You are definitely not alone. It's so frustrating, right? You've memorized all this vocabulary, you've nailed the grammar, but that score, it just won't budge. But what if I told you the solution is actually way simpler than you think? See, here's the thing. The problem a lot of the time isn't the words you're using. Nope. It's the connections you're making, or not making. Think about it. It's all about building these smooth, logical bridges from one idea to the next. You want to make your argument so easy for the examiner to follow, they don't even have to think about it. And why should you care so much about this? Well, check out this number, 25%. That's right, a full quarter of your entire writing mark comes from cohesion and coherence. That's a huge chunk. It's right up there with your vocabulary and grammar. So you see, getting your connections right, it's not some little bonus. It is absolutely essential if you're aiming for that top score. Okay, so if weak connections are the problem, what's the fix? Well, let me introduce you to your secret weapon, the humble, but oh so powerful linking adverb. Now, don't let the fancy grammar term throw you off. A linking adverb, it's just a bridge. Seriously, that's it. Think of it like a signpost in your essay. It's basically telling the reader, hey, heads up, I'm about to add a similar point, or whoa, hold on, here comes a totally different idea. And here is the magic trick. Using these words correctly literally makes your thinking visible. You're not just throwing a list of ideas at the examiner. No, you're showing them the smart, sophisticated relationships between those ideas. You're basically taking them by the hand and guiding them through your logic. And trust me, that kind of clarity, that's what gets you the big points. All right, time to open up the toolbox and see what we've got. This is the really practical, hands-on stuff. Okay, look at this. The key here is how these are all organized by their job or their function. So before you just grab a word like furthermore or however, you got to ask yourself one simple question. What's the relationship between my two sentences here? Am I adding something new? Am I showing a contrast? Am I explaining a result? The moment you know the function, picking the right word becomes a piece of cake. Seriously, this is how a Band 9 writer thinks. And check out this before and after. It shows the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got two kind of boring, separate facts. The city invested in public transport, pollution levels remained high. Okay, fine. But now look at the after. Just add one word, nevertheless, and bam, you've instantly created this smart, sophisticated connection. It screams unexpected contrast to the reader. That is the power we're talking about here. Of course, you know the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Just knowing these words isn't enough. If you use them the wrong way, you can actually hurt your score. So let's go over some really common traps you need to avoid. So here are the big 4 mistakes you got to watch out for. First up, overuse. Don't start every single sentence with one of these. It just sounds robotic. Second, using the wrong tool for the job. You know, using furthermore when you mean however. It just confuses your reader. Third, punctuation. People forget this all the time. You need that comma after the adverb. It's a small detail, but it matters. And finally, repetition. Using moreover 3 times in one paragraph, it just shows you don't have a wide vocabulary. You got to mix it up. Variety is key. Yeah, just look at this example. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Furthermore is used twice, but wait a minute. The second sentence is obviously a contrast, not an addition. You should use something like however or on the other hand. It seems like a small mistake, but it tells the examiner that you don't really get the logical connection you're trying to make. Okay, let's put this all together. How can we take everything we've just learned and get you writing like an absolute pro? You know, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Great cohesion is not about memorizing a long list of fancy-sounding words. It's not about sprinkling them in to sound smart. It's about thinking logically. The words, they're just the tools you use to show off that clear thinking. And look, here's a super simple 4-step process you can follow every time you write. 1. Plan your ideas. Know what you want to say.
2. Identify the link. Ask yourself, is this a contrast, a result, an addition? 3. Select your adverb. Now you can pick the perfect tool from your toolkit. And 4. Write with confidence. Just connect those ideas with clarity. If you do this, you're going to write with so much more confidence and precision. So remember, these adverbs aren't just fancy vocabulary. They are your tools for showing the examiner how clearly and logically you think. Mastering them is a huge step toward that band 9. So that just leaves one question to get you started on your very next practice essay. What's the first idea you're going to connect?